Hello, good evening. We speaking today about the pyramids. Pyramids, when we mention the word pyramids, right away people say Egypt. It's tied to Egypt because this is a unique structure just in Egypt or started from Egypt. Even the word when mention Egypt, people say pyramids. So it's a country and a monument attached to each other. Once we people hear about pyramids and Egypt, say, oh, most of the world, people around the world say, I wish one day to go to see this kind of unique monuments. The pyramids, when you speak about the wonders around the world, the most wonder monument ever in history are pyramids. This kind of structure, created by the ancient Egyptians. And it's not just in Egypt and Sudan and Mexico. And we will cover these points how it went to Mexico. For Sudan and Egypt is one valley, the River Nile Valley. So the old civilization of Egypt was moving sometimes from area to another and until the Sudan, and it has in history the first century before the Christ was a very popular, powerful queen, Amani Shektu. She was in Sudan, and she built a big pyramid about 80 miles from the capital, Khartoum. And until today, this pyramid is still there. And the historian, when they discovered this pyramid, they found huge amount of jewelry. That's prove this queen, she was fond of this kind jewelries, and unfortunate it's been stolen all this and now exhibited in Munich and the Berlin Museum. The in Egypt, it's not just the pyramids of Giza. The people always, when they talking about pyramids, the three pyramids of Giza. Giza is a very big city near Cairo, or you can say twin city of Cairo. But in fact, in Egypt, around 100 pyramids in too many locations. And in Sudan, more than 225 or 26 pyramids. So it's not just the three pyramids of Giza, as the people see always in the pictures. Yes, they are huge, they are big, they are, take the full structure of the pyramid. So here's the question, why the ancient Egyptians created this kind of structure, and how they reached the idea to make four sides of triangles with a big base and meet each other in one point at the top. Is a unique structure, is a magnificent structure created by those ancient Egyptians. Some people call them pharaohs, but the right name is ancient Egyptians. Let's cover the story of the how the ideas came to the mind of those people. The architect Egyptians were very brilliant using rocks to make shapes as they want. If you see the ensemble is a big temple about more than 1,000 kilometers south of the capital Cairo. It's one rock make a huge uh, temple for the King Ramses II. So let's give a simple idea. Our show here is not a historian, not mention very tiny details, but just give a general idea for the people to know about the pyramids, how these people in ancient Egypt they created this kind of pyramids. So the story started from the pyramids were built when Egypt was one of the richest and most powerful civilizations in the world. Pyramids are the magnificent man-made structure in history. Kings of old kingdom of ancient Egypt started to build pyramids about 3,000 years before the Christ, and continued building different type of the pyramids until the 4th century after the Christ. The story of the idea of building such as these magnificent structures came from the faith on gods whom kings are represents. Kings of ancient Egyptians believed they were chosen by gods to serve as their mediators on earth. It was in everyone interested to keep the king's majesty intact even after his death. So ancient Egyptians believed that when the king died, part of his spirit remained with his body. So the corpse was mummified, and everything the king was need after life was buried with him, like food, like gold vessels, furniture, and other offerings. The pyramids became the focus of a cult of a dead king that was supposed to continue well after his death. The riches would provide not only for him, but also the relatives, officials, and the priests who were buried near him. From that point, kings start thinking how they built a tomb to be strong and permanent. From the beginning of the dynastic era, about 3,000 years before the Christ, royal tombs were carved into rocks and covered with a flat roof. Uh, you can say it became after that structure known as mastaba. The mastaba is it's like a structure has triangles, the sides, and the roof is flat. The oldest known pyramids in Egypt was built around uh, 2630 before the Christ at the area called Saqqara. For the third dynasty, King Zoser, he was the king who built the first pyramid of Saqqara. This pyramid, known as a step pyramid, as a traditional mastaba, but grew into shape much more progressive. This step pyramid architect Amhotep, he was a priest healer who some 1400 years later would be deified as the patron saint of scribes and physicians. Over the course of King Zoser, nearly 20 years reign, pyramids builders assembled six-stepped layer of stone like the most earlier tombs that eventually reached a height of 204 feet or 62 meters. It was the tallest building of its time. The step pyramid was surrounded by a complex of courtyard, temples, and shrine where Zoser could enjoy his afterlife. In fact, the pyramids came as this the eventually structure step by step. It started with the first when we see the King Zoser when he built his step pyramid, and after that it came to the architects to improve this shape to make it like the pyramids we see it today. This mastaba is a word very popular in Egypt until today. People in a farmers or the villagers, they built mastaba out of their front yard, front of homes, to sit in the evening time to chat, to talk, to have fun. So the mastaba is a structure, has height over the ground. Mostly the sides are triangles, and the top is flat roof. People sit in. But in the Pharaoh's time or the Pharaoh's era, in first dynasty, they use it as a tomb to bury the kings or the mummies of the died ancient Egyptians. So the mastaba, it was the first stage makes the people thinking to make it two or three levels or four levels until they created this kind of structure. 62 height, it was the most high structure in its time. 62 meters for this time, it was very high structure. So they make it six steps, mastaba over mastaba. So this is known in Egypt as a Saqqara pyramid, or Zoser. He's the name of the king, Zoser pyramid. After that, we will move for the another stage to see how the architects of this era, of this time, they improve the shapes of the pyramids. The question here, they started to make the pyramids to be a tomb. But still until today, some theories, some historians say it's too many reasons to build these pyramids. It's not possible to make a structure huge like this, to put just the bury the king or the officials or the relatives. They think they have another purpose. The ancient Egyptian built these pyramids. But what are we know now? It was a tomb. Started to attempt to put the, because the, as we said, the old Egyptians, the old the ancient Egyptians believed the afterlife, the king will back again to enjoy his life and give spiritual move or moral to the king in power. So this is it was just a simple idea how they started to make this kind of pyramids from mastaba one over one, and then they will improve the shape to be the different, as we will show you for the next video. Today just we covered as introduction how the ancient Egyptians started to make this, and this is within about 4,000 years all the destinies one after one started to build until today. So we have the in Giza, the three pyramids is about 5,000 years ago. It's amazing. It still keeps its shape until today. Very, very powerful, very good. So that's why we make it, or we name it, the first wonder of the world. Thank you very much, and we will continue for the next stage of this kind of the pyramids. Thank you. Bye bye.